What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with my top five and honorable mention MVP candidates. This year has been, you know, a year where a lot of people been going up and down the list as the season has continued to progress. And now we're going to the home stretch, and this is where we're going to see who, really takes the MVP award, the legit one, not the player of the month or MVP of the week, who really is going to be the MVP of this season. So we all know the candidates. I just want to tell my own analysis on all these individual players and why they all have a reason, like I usually do, to win MVP. And I'm gonna pick who I think will actually win it. Now that the season is getting ready to come to an end. So this is a fan requested video. The MVP usually is one of the highly coveted awards, one of the hardest to get to. You gotta, there's a lot of factors and numbers is a big reason, but all these guys have that argument at this point, plus the records. So Steph Curry still is in the MVP conversation. He just has a hard time to win it. When you look at the fact that his numbers have declined, his play has declined, but the start to the season, the first 3 months, helped his case to be the MVP, and he's still in the conversation for it because it's a season award. The only problem with Steph is guys have either have a better season to this point, and has a lot of guys have just been more dominant for a longer stretch than Steph. But when you look at the fact that it's still over 15 plus games, the Warriors still have a top two record or top three record regardless. It's still a good record in the NBA. Steph numbers is still good. His field goal percentage is down, but the 3-point shot is still above average. The free throws is above average. Still getting rebounds, still getting assists, still scoring points. Hasn't been as dominant, but I also feel like he hasn't needed to. He has a lot more weapons than he had the last couple seasons. A lot more shooters, a lot more cutters, a lot more athleticism, and other guys have just stepped up in general throughout this entire run this season. So we looked at the Warriors as a better, more improved team. Plus, they did get Clay back, which added another scorer and another shooter and another guy that can get his own shot. Wiggins has stepped up offensively throughout the season. You even had guys, like Otto step up. You had guys like, Jonathan Kaminga. This team has had multiple guys step up. Jordan Poole has a decent start went before Klay Thompson came in. So that was the problem with the Warriors the last 2 seasons. They relied a lot on Steph, and he delivered. All NBA MVP caliber season last year. He just ultimately came up short. This year they just won a lot more games, and Steph just didn't have to be as good as he was last year. And that result is him still being an MVP candidate because the number's still there and they still winning. This is still Steph's team. He still has been great. It's still good to see him back with Clay. The Splash Brothers are back. Now we're just gonna see how they finish the season and what they do in the playoffs. Luka is always in this conversation. The only reason why I don't have him as MVP is because he did get off to a rough start. Maybe it's the coach, maybe it was the system that they was implementing at the beginning of the season. Maybe it was the fact that he just didn't have, the shooting around him, or he just, had to get adjusted to the new rules that was implemented also this season. And now he just flying. Luka is just hitting threes, and everything is just going. The rebounds, the assists is there again, and the shooter should be better after the trade deadline. He has had more time to get acclimated with his teammates, and he just destroying the league. Luka is just literally out there obliterating, having fun, doing whatever he wants. We see this in the playoffs against Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers, and he didn't get off to that start this year like we thought he would. But now the last 2 months, he just been destroying the league. Luka is just fun, amazing, and just he's a problem. Luka Doncic is a problem for real, and you gotta give him credit for that every year because he been All NBA first team the last 2 years, and I have him All NBA third. I mean, All NBA first team for the third straight season, and that just show you how great Luka been, and he's not even 24 years old. So Luka to me is in the MVP conversation because of the last 2 months has been so dominant. DeMar Derozan is still in the conversation. The Bulls have been a team with a great record for the entire season. And DeMar DeRozan has played some of his best basketball this season. They've been winning. He's been scoring. He's been taking over. He's been, doing whatever he can to help his team win, regardless of who's on the court with them. Whether it's Vucevic getting off to a rough start or Zach LaVine, being a great complementary player to the aggressiveness and the playmaking of DeMar DeRozan game. But, I look at DeMar DeRozan as a guy that, pretty much been on fire for a long stretch of time. So I doubt that he wins this award. This is probably the furthest he also probably will get to winning this award. But I don't see DeMar DeRozan winning this award. But he has had a great season. The Bulls, to me, have exceeded expectations. Nobody really thought the Bulls would be a top 2 seed in the NBA. They have been around there the entire season, and their team actually, to me, got worse as the season went on, and DeMar DeRozan just got more dominant as the season went on, and they just kept winning as the season went on, and nobody thought that they'd be where they at right now when the season started, even with guys out. And it's actually reality that the Bulls are still good record-wise. So Giannis, I still have him in the MVP conversation, like a lot of other people. The numbers is always there for Giannis. The defense and the effort to me slipped a little bit. But a lot of that does have to do with teammates. Brook Lopez is out. Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton missed time in the beginning of the year. And Giannis, has struggles throughout the first 2 months. But other than that, he's pretty much been one of the most consistent players. That's what a superstar is. That's what a dominant player is, and Giannis has been that for a couple seasons now. And even though the offense slipped a little bit the first 2 months, the defense slipped too, and his teammates been in and out. Giannis still has been pretty consistent the last couple months, and that's why I put him, in the MVP conversation again this season. We'll see how he finish. We'll see where the Bucks finish, but he still is definitely going to be in the conversation to win his third MVP. Ja Morant, I told you guys when he got drafted, he adds something different to the Grizzlies. I told y'all that they won. Mike Conley and Marc Gasol was the grit and grind Grizzlies. I said when Ja Morant gets drafted, he's gonna bring excitement. He's gonna bring fun. He's gonna bring highlights. That's something that Mike Conley didn't do. That's something that Marc Gasol didn't do, and that grit and grind team didn't do. This team is more fun, more exciting, more playful, and Ja just been more dominant the last 2 months, dunking, shooting, crossing, doing whatever he wants to the defense. No matter what team he goes against, he just really just been shining. Um, and it's just fun to see him have that much fun, the team winning at the same time. And this is their first breakout season, record-wise, and Ja first breakout season into possibly becoming a superstar in this league. And, the numbers are backing him up for this case for MVP. Now we just have to see how he actually finished. He has the strongest finish going on the last 2 months outside of Luka, but Josh still has the record on him at this point, which some people use as a way to cater to somebody winning the award, which Ja has in his favor because they are higher than the Mavericks right now, and teams like the Denver Nuggets with Jokic, who I'll get to. They have a better record than Giannis. They have a better record than that's about it on this list. But Ja, the numbers are behind him, the wins are behind him, the flash, the excitement, the dominance is behind him. And with that being said, he should definitely be in the MVP conversation. And he has, like I said, been pushing and pushing and pushing to making his case as the MVP. But you also have guys like Jokic, who has been consistent the entire season, no matter who has been around him. Michael Porter, they didn't get off to a great start, but they just kept winning. Even with Jamal Murray being out, even with Porter being out, even with guys being in and out throughout the entire, season, Jokic has still been dominant. Scoring, not making excuses, not whining and complaining if his teammates are good or not. He's just been going out there handling his business, giving his team the best chance to win, whether it's getting 30, whether it's getting 40, whether it's getting a triple-double, whether it's just taking over in the fourth, letting some guys hit shots throughout the game because he's a guy that leads the NBA in assists for centers like he has done multiple seasons. So I love what I see from Jokic. The points is there, the rebounds is there, the assists is there, the efficiency is there, and they are a top 6 team in the Western Conference right now. We still don't know how they're going to finish when the season is over. But when it comes to consistency, dominance, and all around play, Nikola Jokic has done it the entire season. No real fall off for Jokic this entire year. And that's why I've been consistently saying Jokic for the last 3 years. Even this year is probably going to be my All NBA first team center again. Because no matter who's around him, he just continues to win. No matter. I mean, he also did get to the third round in the bubble against the Lakers. And Jokic was the best player on the team that year. And then Joel Embiid is going to be in this conversation. He had Ben Simmons out. He had guys in and out like a lot of people. His play just kept being consistent and dominant when he was healthy. He did miss some games in the beginning of the season, but he just been tearing it up the last 3 months. And Joel Embiid hasn't been healthy this long for a long, long time consistently in seasons, probably ever at this point. But that's good. They paid Joel Embiid the most money that he can be paid in his career, and he's just been the best Embiid that we have seen ever. His defense has slipped. His playmaking is better. His shot selection is tough, but he's still making them. Joel Embiid has just been a force. Like I said, defensively he has slipped to me, but offensively he has legitimately took it to another level. They rode him. They needed him. Now with Harden there, they got another guy that can create shots for others. Maxey has thrived, and they have Doc Rivers and some solid pieces throughout the entire roster, including Tobias Harris. Whether he's hot or cold is always a question, but we can't question Embiid being dominant this year because it is literally just a fact. He's legitimately been dominant this entire season for the most part. Now we just have to see how he finish. If I had to pick somebody that I would legitimately pick for MVP, I'm going to go with Ja Morant. Like everybody else, like, well, your numbers is increasing and the record is there. The numbers are there. The flash is there. The excitement is there. And the wins are there. And if he continues, like he averaging like 30, 40 points in the last 4 games almost, and it's just getting more and more crazier throughout the season. And like I said, James Harden is there, so Joel Embiid don't have to do as much. Jokic don't have the record case. Giannis won't have the record case. Plus, he did get off to a rough start the first 2 months. Luka won't have the record case. DeMar will, but he won't have the numbers that Ja Morant have. And Steph, he's going to be in the conversation, but ultimately the first 2-3 months probably not going to carry him for the entire season. So Ja just been on the tear. He has a storyline. This guy that is playing for a small market team, bringing flash, bringing excitement, bringing fun, bringing dominance, obliterating teams, showing out, and that just helped the narrative. That helps the storyline. That helps with the numbers. That helps with the record being great. They're not going to catch Phoenix, in my personal opinion, but Phoenix don't have an MVP candidate. Chris Paul is not there in an MVP conversation. Neither is Devin Booker. Even when you look at the East, it's really just DeMar or Embiid, and those two is who Ja Morant is gonna have to fight, along with Jokic and Giannis for that crown as the MVP. Now, I feel like all of these guys are in the same conversation. Like I said, all these guys have rough starts. All these guys have had injuries. All these guys have gaps through the season. But it's about who's been great for majority of the season and the other storyline factors and record, but also who can be dominant and close the season while you also had a great one. So to me, I'm going to go with Ja Morant like a lot of other people for MVP. Everything right now is pushing us towards Ja. The media, the fans, the excitement, the fun, the record is all pushing towards Ja direction. And that usually be the reason why people win MVP. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ja won it. So I'm going to go with Ja Morant. Other than that, Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of y'all day. See y'all later, and do y'all thing.